to Intermediate Level English Language Arts.
Hi, and welcome to English Language Arts Intermediate Level. Right. So let's jump right into the lesson for today. Yes. Okay. We are now in week 2 of English Language Arts grade 4, and our objective for this week would be number 1, to be able to recognize and differentiate these very common kinds of nouns. We have the common, the proper, the mass, count, and collective nouns. The other objective is to be able to understand how these different nouns contribute to the English language as a whole. Right. So let us jump right in to the very first topic. Right. Common and proper nouns. Now, what are common and proper nouns? Let's first identify what are nouns. Okay. Now, to put it simply, kids, right? Nouns are basically names. Names of people, places, things, animals, or ideas. Basically, if you have a name, that is a noun. So you can keep it as simple as just nouns are names, okay? But you could also be more specific. Names of people, places, things, animals, or ideas. Now you have two kinds, the common and the proper nouns. For common nouns, right? These are names or of anything. These are common names of a class of people, a class of place, a class of things, right? Now, they can be general names of things. Yes. They start with a small letter. Here are examples, right? You have pupil, restaurant, newspaper, town, province, city. Now, they are not specific names, rather, they are general names. They are names of what is a pupil. Is it specific? Who is the pupil we're talking about? No, it's not. How about the restaurant? Is it specific? Is there a specific restaurant? No, as well. How about newspaper? What kind of newspaper? Not, it is not mentioned there. So you see, guys, how common nouns work. They are basically general names. Okay. What about proper nouns? Proper nouns, on the other hand, they are names of a specific person, place, or thing, or animal, right? They start with a big or capital letter. So example, a while ago, we had the example pupil. It was not specific who was the pupil we're discussing or talking about. But here we have Katrina, Michael, Rosemary, right? These are specific names of people, specific names of pupils, right? How about a while ago, restaurant? We have examples here, John Foodworks, or MS Eatery, or Jollibee, or McDonald's. You notice they start with a capital letter. These are proper nouns, okay? A while ago, with the newspaper, we have Daily Star, Manila Times, okay? For proper nouns. How about town? We have Baliwa, Calamba, Morong. Towns in the NCR, right? Somewhere in the south. How about a while ago, the province? We have Palawan, Batangas, Iloilo. These are all different kinds of proper nouns. And do you see the difference, kids? Yes. Common nouns, they name general things. They're not specific. They are not referring to a specific thing. Rather, they're referring to a general thing, or human, or place, or animal. But as for proper nouns, they are referring to specific things, specific people, specific places, specific events. This is the difference between common and proper nouns. Now, one easy way to also easily spot the difference is that if it's a common noun, it would start with a small letter, and if it's a proper noun, it would start with a capital letter. Of course, if you are starting the sentence with a common noun, then you would have to make it as a capital letter. But other than that, if you're not starting a sentence with a common noun, you would have to use a small letter. Yes? Okay. Now, next, we have other examples, right? So here, for example, common nouns, we have cat. But if you have a specific name of a cat, your pet, for example, you have Muning or Mr. Marbles. Pen, right? You guys have ever used pens? There are specific brands of pen. We have Pilot, Panda, HPW. How about notebook, right? You have a notebook, but if you'd like to be specific, what notebook? You have a math notebook, an ELA notebook. How about book, right? you could just say book and it could refer to any book. But if you'd like to be specific, you'd have to say Harry Potter or Across Borders Through Language 4, the book that we're using right now. Or drink. Yes. When you say drink, this is any drink. You could even say, oh, I just had the drink a while ago. Right? Drink. It's a common noun. But when you say, oh, I had Coca-Cola a while ago, I had Milo a while ago, that is a proper noun. You are more specific. Yes? And these are basically how they are used. If you'd like to talk about something generally, you'd use a common noun. And if you'd like to talk about something specifically, you would use a proper noun. Okay? Now, let's move on to the next topic. Count and mass nouns. Now, a while ago, we were able to discuss two different kinds of nouns, common and proper. But what are count and mass nouns? Let's start with count nouns first, shall we? There are different kinds of common nouns. Now, these are different kinds of common nouns. They could be either count or non-count nouns. Now, non-count, as in your book, right, would also be called as mass nouns. What's the difference? Just based on the name itself. Basically, kids, a count noun is a noun that can be counted. Yes, they can be counted. They have a plural form. Plate, spoon, hamburgers, persons, heroines, customers, rivers, streets, houses. These are all different count nouns. You can count them, right? Well, when you are actually trying to refer to more than one count noun, you could either add a or an or numerals. A or an are called articles. Okay? And these articles, you have already discussed this before when you were in primary, right? But basically, you could just say a sandwich, a pancake, a sausage, an omelet, an ice cream cone, an eggplant. What is the difference of a and an again? A is when you use that if before the word you have a consonant, or before if the noun starts with a consonant, you would use a. But if it starts with a vowel, then you would have to use an. Now, you could also add numerals. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,000, 8, 9, 10, million. Yes? Like 3 hamburgers, 2 hot dogs, 5 muffins. Okay? This is how you quantify or you give a number to a count. Now, of course, when you use a or an, you're only referring to one, right? But as for if you add other numerals like 2, 3, 4, 5, and onwards, you're referring to just how many you've mentioned. Okay, so those are count nouns. What about non-count or mass nouns? These are nouns that, well, by the name itself, these are nouns that can't be counted. Okay, they can't be added with an article or a numeral before them. Example, coffee. Can you count coffee? How about paper? Sure, we could say papers. Probably. If you refer to different kinds of paper, like an ELA paper, perhaps, or a research paper, maybe. But when you're referring to just paper itself, it's non-count. It's a mass noun. Juice. Can you count juice? But Sir Vince, we can count juices. Orange juices, lemon juices. If they are in a pack or you are referring to different kinds of juices, then you can count them. Okay? But when you are referring to just juice itself, as in the common general term juice, then no, you cannot. Sugar. Can you count sugar? So I can count like the tiny bits of it. Oh, those are tiny bits. Those are tiny grains of sugar. But you cannot really count sugar. Later on, we will discuss this, quantifying mass nouns. Okay, this is reserved for a later topic. But for now, sugar, salt, these are non-count. Rice, non-count as well. Sir Vince, you can count grains of rice. Grains of rice. But rice itself, you can't. How about bread? Can you count bread? Sure, we can. I mean, I had like a lot of slices of bread. Oh, you can have different slices or loaves of bread. Yes. But you can't count bread itself, the general term for bread. Yes. Same with shopping, salt, cotton, beauty. You can't count these. These are mass nouns. Now, Sir Vince, can you give us a list of all of the count nouns and the mass nouns? No, I cannot. Okay. This is something that you'll be hearing a lot from me as we go through ELA all throughout the school year and even in the if you are going to be my students in the next class. Right? One thing is for sure, I cannot teach you every little thing. What I can do is encourage you to read, to watch, to soak up different forms of media, right? That uses the English language. You can even play games that uses the English language. These things all contribute to adding your vocabulary, your knowledge of which are count nouns and which are mass nouns. All right? So, to give you an answer, no, I cannot give you a list. But I can help you and encourage you and give you just a few bits of which are count nouns and mass nouns. But one thing's for certain, right? If you can count them, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then that is a count noun. But if you cannot count them, then that is a mass noun. Pretty simple, right? Next, what are collective nouns? And how are they different from mass and count nouns? Unlike count nouns and mass nouns, collective nouns are different. See, they refer to a group. They refer to a group. It is more than one. But they are considered as one unit. One unit. That means they are all considered as one. Take, for example, you have a group of soldiers. A group of soldiers, you call them a troop. A group of servers. Have you ever been, like, for example, in fast food chains, fast food restaurants? You have servers, right? You call them a crew, right? This is also the same when if you're referring to a group of people working in a ship, right? You have a crew. You have a team of players. Can you consider just one person a team? Can that work? Just one person, one player. Is that a team? No, it's not. Right? Flock of birds. This is a group of birds. A herd of sheep. A colony of ants. A set of plates. A rack of knives. A chest of drawers. A pride of lion. A pride is basically a group or a family of lions, which consists of one alpha lion, a male one, some probably younger male lions, and a group of lionesses. You'll learn that later on in science. But for now, right, basically collective nouns are different from count and mass nouns because they are more than one. If you see, for example, a troop of soldiers, you can't just count one soldier there. No, there are a lot. There could be more than two or more. But you will consider them as one. Just like, for example, you guys, a class, right? You individually are students, but a group of students is considered a class. So I could refer to you guys as my class, a class of servants, right? You notice the article for that. So what are the importance of using these things? For nouns that are count and non-count or mass nouns, these are used as nouns to refer to common nouns that you'd like to specify whether they are countable or not. They are also very important in the English language because a lot of grammar rules apply to them. One very specific grammar rule was what was mentioned a while ago regarding the articles. Yes, you cannot use an article or a numeral for a mass noun. A sugar, a salt, you can't say that. Okay? How about collective nouns? These are very important as well. That way we can identify which are nouns that are called or considered a group, right? And you consider them as one unit. Now, all of these things are all very important for the English language, and these would be the very base, the very core of what we're going to be studying for this whole school year. All of these things, we will go through them again and again and again, right? And until you finally truly understand and truly master all of these different nouns. So let's do a quick recap, shall we? Yes. So as a recap, right, common nouns and proper nouns. Common nouns are nouns that are used to name, right, general things. They start with a small letter. Proper nouns, they're used to name specific things. They start with a big letter. Mass nouns are used to name, right, a common noun that cannot be counted. A count noun is a name that is used for a common noun that can be counted. And collective nouns, these are nouns or names of a noun or of nouns that are more than one but are considered just one unit. And these are the very basic different kinds of nouns. There are a lot more. You will learn them as we go on, right? Even probably next school year. But for now, let's stick with these, and we will truly appreciate and identify all of these things. You would meet them again and again. Later on, you would see why studying nouns again and again until you master it would be very, very important and very crucial as you learn the English language. Right? With that, kids, right, this ends the lesson for week 2 of intermediate level English language arts grade 4. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.